Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is sneak in a little bit of my Frostmourne sword while I have time. So I've been working on the blade pieces. Here's one. So I've just done one round on them just to start smoothing them. I can't finish them because they'll be connected together, right? And then someone will have to fill in the seam and you'll have to, you'll ruin the finish. So I want to do at least one round on all of the pieces, and if someone buys it, it's gone. It'll have a new home. And here's another piece to the round on. And if no one buys it, by the time I get through every piece, I will put it together and keep it for myself because it's actually quite beautiful. I think this is a Hex3d model. So I'm going to do these two little, I don't know what they are, ears, blades, decorations. So you can see there's lots of layer lines on this, a little bit of Z-wobble or shift. So I'm going to do two of these, so I'll paint them and sand them, then we'll take a look at them and slowly working my way through a Frostmourne sword. Eventually, we will get to the main guy, the giant, whatever it is, skull, ram skull. But this is a really cool sword. And I should mention, for any hexers that are watching or anyone that wants to download this sword, there's a brace piece, and it's this size. And it's too long for my printer and too high. So it also comes cut into two, and it's cut right about the middle. But where those two middle pieces meet in the sword is where two pieces of the sword meet, so really no support. So if you're going to make one of these and you can't print this whole thing at once, cut it somewhere else so it fits in the middle of another section of sword, so it gives you good stability. So I just cut this one out of a piece of wood. I'm going to use wood on this one, so that'll give it plenty of sturdiness, nice hardwood. All right, I'll be back here with my Frostmourne sword, continuing on. So I'm just doing these two pieces for right now. So let me get it focused. You can see the layer lines, they're all filling in. Gotta be careful not to hit the end, I don't want to break it. And there's a little bit of issue at the end, but that will get all taken care of and sanded away as we go. The same on this one, right up here. I wish this thing would stay focused. There's some glop in that seam, but as we sand down our paint, we're actually going to keep hitting that PLA, and our paint will build up so the two will meet, and then that should be all nice and smooth. And right here at the end, you can see where it did a little shifting, a little banding, but it's all filled in, so everything's going very nicely. So next up is to prime these and then take a look at what we have. After I sand all these too, right, then you have to take some sort of tool. So I use this tool right there, with the hook on it, just to run it through here and clean out all these recesses. All right, because they'll fill up with sanding debris and paint. So that's about it for that. I'm going to prime them and paint them again and sand them. And continue on with the Frostmourne sword piece by piece. If it doesn't sell, I will complete a whole sword for myself. Okay, so I have my Frostmourne sword pieces back. You can still see the layer lines. So I'm going to do another round on both sides of these. And when I do it, when I'm done, right, I'll take my little tool and chisel along that decal, along the detail, so I don't lose that nice little detail in the middle. So one more round for sure, probably two. This looks like a 3-rounder. I don't know what layer height I printed this at. It was a long time ago, but it's such a small piece, so we'll do three rounds, no big deal. So I'm going to paint it, sand it, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, I'm here with my Frostmourne sword pieces. So I've sanded them after their priming, and you should be able to see the layer lines filling in. So everything looks nice. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a third round or not. I know if it was for sure that I was keeping this, I would finish these, because I don't think you need to fill in where they connect. when it's connected to the sword, it looks just fine sitting next to it. It doesn't have to be melded in. But you never know, if I sell it, what the person buying it might want. So I might just prime these and be done. We'll just we'll take a look at them and see how they look. But they're looking pretty good right now. Okay, priming, and then I'll be back. I have my Frostmourne sword pieces. And you can see they're starting to smooth out nicely. And I don't think that I have to do any connection joints when these are glued on, or anyone would have to. So I'm going to do another round on these. I want to get these smooth, just like a piece of glass. I have to sand better on the edges. So you can still see some layer lines, but one more round should fix that up. And I'm going to dig all these out nicely. So that should come out pretty good. Okay, I'm working on the Frostmourne sword pieces. And this one is painted. And this one I've just sanded. I just want to do a quick update just in case I don't get to do any more, because I'm not sure if there's any point in finishing these completely, even though they can just connect and you don't have to fill any seams or anything. They get banged around in a box or sitting around here, and someone could buy this too, and they might want to paint it a different color or so. But this is as smooth as anything I've ever made. It might be the smoothest thing I've ever made. I couldn't believe it when I ran my hand down this. So this is going to look beautiful when it's done. I mean, you can't get any smoother. Prime it and you can wet sand it and it would just be beautiful. So I'm probably just going to leave it like this, but I might prime it. But if I prime them, I'll come back and finish off this video. And if not, I'm going to leave it there, because the video is just to show the process, right, and how our paint works. And it's amazing. It's unbelievable. I wish everybody could feel how smooth that is. Incredible. Okay, so I'm going to end my Frostmourne sword pieces video here. I have them back. They just have some remnants stuck from my table, but these things are perfectly smooth. This will look beautiful when it's all finished. Just got to clean out the lines, and whatever color I decide, if it stays with me, just to put some chrome right on it, or maybe some black, and just not rub and buff, but graphite powder it. But perfectly smooth. Okay, on to the next project.